In the world of professional baseball, few names generate as much excitement and passion as Rafael Devers. He is a player defined by his powerful swing and his infectious love for the game. For years he was the heart and soul of the Boston Red Sox, a cornerstone player who could change the course of a game with a single at-bat. His journey from a promising young talent in the Dominican Republic to a feared slugger in Major League Baseball is a story of dedication, resilience, and pure, unadulterated talent. Devers has captured the hearts of fans not just with his on-field heroics, but with a presence that lights up the entire ballpark. He became more than just a player. He became an icon in a city that demands greatness from its sports heroes. Devers' arrival in Boston marked the beginning of a new era for the Red Sox. He stepped onto the hallowed grounds of Fenway Park as a highly touted prospect, carrying the weight of massive expectations on his young shoulders. He did not just meet those expectations, he shattered them. From his very first games it was clear that he possessed a rare gift for hitting a baseball with incredible force and precision. Fans quickly learned to anticipate something special every time he stepped into the batter's box. His clutch home runs and game-changing hits became the stuff of legend, solidifying his place as a fan favorite and a critical piece of the team's success in the modern era. The connection between Devers and the city of Boston was immediate and profound. He embodied the spirit of the team, playing with a fiery determination that resonated with the passionate fan base. His performance during the 2018 World Series run cemented his status as a Boston legend, delivering key hits in crucial moments that propelled the team to a championship. That magical season was just the beginning of a remarkable tenure filled with individual accolades, including multiple All-Star selections and Silver Slugger awards. He was the constant, the reliable force in the middle of the lineup, the player everyone looked to when the game was on the line, a true franchise player. But his story is not confined to one city or one uniform. The stunning trade that sent him to the San Francisco Giants in 2025 marked a seismic shift in the baseball landscape, opening a new and uncertain chapter in his celebrated career. This move transformed him from a beloved Red Sox icon into a new hope for a Giants franchise eager for a superstar slugger. His journey now continues on a different coast under different lights, but the essence of who he is remains the same. He is a generational talent whose impact transcends team loyalties, a player whose story continues to unfold with every powerful swing of the bat, inspiring a new set of fans. Every great baseball story has a beginning, and for Rafael Devers, that beginning is in Sanchez Ramirez Province, a region in the Dominican Republic, known for producing incredible baseball talent. Born on October 24, 1996 to his father, Rafael Devers Sr., and his mother, Lucrecia Garcia. He grew up in a place where baseball was more than just a game, it was a way of life. From a very young age, the sport was woven into the fabric of his existence. The dusty fields and makeshift diamonds of his hometown were his sanctuary, the place where he honed the skills that would one day make him a global superstar. His family provided the foundation, supporting his dreams with unwavering love and encouragement. His path was paved with the dreams of countless other Dominican boys who saw baseball as a ticket to a better future. The island is a hotbed for talent, a place where scouts flock in search of the next big thing. Devers stood out from the crowd early on. His natural ability, particularly his lightning-quick hands and powerful left-handed swing, was impossible to ignore. He dedicated himself completely to his craft, spending endless hours practicing, driven by an internal fire to succeed. This relentless work ethic, combined with his God-given talent, set him on a trajectory that aimed directly for the highest levels of the sport, far beyond the fields of his youth. Family has always been a central part of his journey. His cousin, Jose Devers, is also a professional baseball player who reached the major leagues, creating a unique bond of shared experience and ambition within the family. This connection provided a source of motivation and friendly competition as both young men pushed each other to be their very best. The Devers name became synonymous with baseball excellence, a testament to the family's passion and dedication to the game. Rafael carried not only his own aspirations, but the hopes of his entire family with him every time he stepped onto the field, a responsibility he has always embraced with pride. The journey from Sanchez to the big leagues is long and arduous, filled with immense pressure and countless obstacles. It requires not only physical skill but also an unshakable mental fortitude. For Devers, the dream was never just about making it, it was about being one of the best. He watched his heroes on television, idolizing the stars who had made the same journey before him, and imagined himself following in their footsteps. That vision, born in the heart of the Dominican Republic, became the driving force behind every swing, every practice, and every sacrifice, ultimately leading him to the brightest stages in the world of baseball. Beyond the towering home runs and the impressive statistics, there is a defining characteristic that has endeared Rafael Devers to fans everywhere: his smile. It is a smile that seems to radiate pure joy, a genuine expression of his love for the game. This infectious happiness earned him a fitting nickname long before he was a household name in Major League Baseball. As a child, his constantly happy and smiling disposition led his family and friends to call him Carita, a Spanish term of endearment that translates to baby face. The name stuck, perfectly capturing the youthful exuberance and cheerful spirit that he has carried with him throughout his entire life and career. The nickname Carita is more than just a moniker. It is a window into his personality. In a sport often defined by intense pressure and stoic focus, Devers plays with a visible sense of delight. Whether he is launching a baseball into the stratosphere or celebrating a teammate's success, his baby face is often lit up with a grin. This quality makes him incredibly relatable and likable. Fans see not just a superstar athlete but a person who genuinely loves what he does. He even embraced the nickname officially during MLB's Players Weekend, proudly displaying Carita on the back of his jersey for the world to see, connecting his past with his present. This joyful approach to the game does not diminish his fierce competitiveness. In fact, it may be one of his greatest strengths. Devers plays with a relaxed confidence, a freedom that seems to unlock his immense power at the plate. He is able to separate the pressure of the moment from the simple act of playing baseball, a skill that many veterans struggle to master. His ability to smile in the face of adversity, to stay loose in the most critical situations, has become one of his trademarks. It is a reminder that even at the highest level, baseball is still a game meant to be enjoyed. Ultimately, Carita represents the duality of Rafael Devers. He is the baby-faced assassin, a player with a cheerful demeanor who can instantly turn into one of the most feared hitters in the league. His journey is a testament to the idea that one can be both a ferocious competitor and a joyful participant. The smile is not a facade. It is an authentic part of who he is, a symbol of the passion that fuels his incredible talent. As he continues his career, that famous smile will undoubtedly continue to light up ballparks, reminding everyone why they fell in love with the game in the first place, and why they fell in love with him. The journey from a dream to a professional contract is a pivotal moment for any young athlete. For Rafael Devers, that moment arrived on August 9, 2013. At just 16 years old, he was no longer just a talented kid from the Dominican Republic, he was a professional baseball player. The Boston Red Sox, recognizing his extraordinary potential, signed him as an international free agent. The deal was worth $1.5 million, a significant investment in a teenager who had yet to play a single professional game. This wasn't just a gamble, it was a statement. The Red Sox believed they had found something truly special, a player who could become a cornerstone for years to come. Devers was ranked as the 6th best international prospect, a high honor in a fiercely competitive market. Scouts from across Major League Baseball had their eyes on Devers, but it was his bat that set him apart. Many considered him the best left-handed hitter available on the entire international market that year. His swing was a thing of beauty, fluid, powerful, and remarkably advanced for his age. It was the kind of swing that talent evaluators dream of finding. When he made contact, the ball exploded off the bat with a sound that signaled future greatness. The Red Sox scouting department saw more than just raw power. They saw a pure hitter with an innate understanding of the strike zone and an ability to drive the ball to all fields. They were betting on his bat to carry him all the way to Boston. Signing that contract was the culmination of years of hard work and sacrifice, not just for Rafael, but for his entire family. It was the validation of their belief in his talent and the reward for countless hours spent on dusty baseball diamonds. For a 16-year-old, receiving such a life-changing sum of money could be overwhelming, but Devers remained grounded. His focus was singular, to prove that the Red Sox had made the right choice. The money was secondary to the opportunity. He now had a direct path to the major leagues, a chance to wear the iconic Boston uniform and compete on the world's biggest stage. The dream was becoming a reality, one signature at a time. With his name on a professional contract, the real work began. Devers was now part of a storied organization, with a clear and challenging road ahead of him. He would have to navigate the complex world of minor league baseball, facing tougher competition at every level. The pressure was immense, but so was his determination. He was no longer just Rafael Devers from Sanchez. He was a top prospect for the Boston Red Sox, a six-figure phenom with a future as bright as the stadium lights he hoped to one day play under. His journey through the minor leagues was about to begin, and he was ready to make his mark on the baseball world. Rafael Devers did not waste any time proving the Red Sox right. His professional debut in 2014 was nothing short of spectacular. He started with the Dominican Summer League Red Sox, a rookie-level team, and immediately dominated the competition. In his first 8 games he was a hitting machine, batting an incredible .467. It was clear from the outset that he was far too advanced for that level. He displayed a rare combination of power and patience, walking more times than he struck out, a remarkable feat for a young hitter. His performance was so impressive that it forced the organization's hand. He was quickly promoted, a clear sign that his development was on a fast track. After his brief but brilliant stint in the DSL, Devers was moved to the Gulf Coast League Red Sox in the United States. The change in country and competition did nothing to slow him down. He continued to hit, showcasing the skills that made him such a coveted prospect. In just 22 games in the GCL, he hit .372 and drove in 31 runs. He wasn't just getting hits, he was hitting with authority, collecting doubles and home runs with ease. His success was instrumental in leading the GCL Red Sox to a championship title, where he delivered a game-winning home run in the playoffs. He wasn't just a prospect, he was a winner who thrived in big moments. By the end of his first professional season, Devers had established himself as one of the brightest young stars in the Red Sox farm system. He had climbed from being ranked the team's 13th best prospect to number 5 according to MLB.com. His combined numbers across 2 leagues were staggering for a 17-year-old, a .322 batting average, 7 home runs, and 57 RBIs in 70 games. He was named a GCL postseason All-Star, the first of many accolades to come. His rapid ascent was turning heads throughout baseball. Everyone knew that the Red Sox had a special talent on their hands, a player who was progressing at an astonishing rate. In 2015, the Red Sox continued to challenge him, assigning him to the Low-A Greenville Drive. Once again, he rose to the occasion. Playing against older and more experienced players, he excelled, earning a selection to the South Atlantic League All-Star Game. His performance also garnered national attention, as he was chosen to represent the world team in the prestigious All-Star Futures Game. This event showcases the best prospects in all of baseball, and Devers belonged among them. In just 2 short years, he had gone from an international signee to one of the most exciting young players in the entire sport. His path to the major leagues looking clearer with every powerful swing. By 2016, Rafael Devers was no longer a secret. He was widely recognized as a top-tier prospect, and the Red Sox organization treated him as such. He received a coveted invitation to participate in the team's Major League spring training, giving him his first taste of life in the big leagues. At just 19 years old, he was sharing a clubhouse with established stars, observing their routines and testing his skills against the highest level of competition. While he was not expected to make the Major League roster, the experience was invaluable. It gave him a glimpse of his future and fueled his desire to get there as quickly as possible, serving as a powerful motivator for the upcoming season. For the 2016 season, Devers was promoted to the High-A Salem Red Sox. At this point, he was firmly established as the Red Sox's number 2 prospect and was ranked among the top 15 prospects in all of baseball by MLB.com. The expectations were sky high, but he continued to handle the pressure with maturity beyond his years. He spent the entire season in Salem, continuing to refine his game and demonstrate his elite hitting ability. He was consistently one of the youngest players in the league, yet he played like a seasoned veteran. His steady progress confirmed that he was on the right track, moving step by step closer to Fenway Park. The 2017 season was the year everything came together. Devers began the year with the Double-A Portland Sea Dogs, a level that often separates good prospects from great ones. Devers proved he was great. He tore through the Eastern League, hitting .300 with 18 home runs in just 77 games. He was simply overpowering the pitching at that level, making it obvious that he needed a new challenge. The Red Sox organization agreed. On July 14th, he received the call he had been working towards his entire life, a promotion to the AAA Pawtucket Red Sox, just one step away from the major leagues. His time in AAA was brief but explosive. It felt more like a final confirmation than a test. In 9 games with Pawtucket, Devers hit an astounding .400 with 2 home runs, leaving no doubt that he was ready for the show. He had conquered every level of the minor leagues, exceeding every expectation placed upon him since he was a 16-year-old signee. Meanwhile, in Boston, the Red Sox were struggling to get production from the third base position. The stage was perfectly set. The organization had an obvious need, and their top prospect was dominating the highest level of the minors. The call-up was no longer a matter of if, but when. His dream was on the verge of becoming reality. The summer of 2017 was a period of frustration for the Boston Red Sox at third base. The team had high hopes but was getting very little production from the position. Veteran Pablo Sandoval, who had been signed to a large contract, was struggling mightily. The team needed a spark, an injection of energy and talent at the hot corner. Meanwhile, down in AAA Pawtucket, a 20-year-old phenom named Rafael Devers was making an undeniable case. He was hitting everything in sight, looking more like a seasoned veteran than a player who had just been promoted to the level. The contrast was stark, and the solution seemed obvious to everyone watching. The calls from fans and media to bring up the young star grew louder with each passing day. Finally, the moment arrived. On July 24, 2017, the Red Sox made the move that would alter the course of their season and their future. Just 5 days after releasing Pablo Sandoval, the team officially promoted Rafael Devers to the major leagues. The news sent a wave of excitement through Red Sox Nation. The long-awaited arrival of Carita was here. For Devers, it was the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, the culmination of years of relentless work that began on the dusty fields of the Dominican Republic. He was heading to Boston, to the historic Fenway Park, to wear the uniform of one of baseball's most storied franchises. The pressure was immense, but Devers was ready. Stepping into the Major League clubhouse for the first time as an official member of the team was a surreal experience. He was surrounded by the players he had watched on television, heroes like Dustin Pedroia and Chris Sale. At just 20 years old, he was the new kid on the block, tasked with solidifying a key position for a team in the thick of a pennant race. The organization was not just hoping he could survive, they were counting on him to thrive. They handed him the starting third base job, a tremendous vote of confidence in his abilities. It was a sink or swim moment, and the Red Sox were betting that their top prospect was a world-class swimmer. The city of Boston immediately embraced their new young star. He represented hope, a bright future, and the promise of homegrown talent paying off. Before he even recorded his first hit, he was a symbol of a new beginning. The weight of expectation was heavy, but Devers carried it with the same easy smile that had earned him his nickname. He knew what was at stake, but he also knew that this was the moment he had been preparing for his entire life. The stage was set, the lights of Fenway were shining bright, and Rafael Devers was about to announce his arrival to the world in a way no one would soon forget. Rafael Devers did not take long to make his presence felt. On July 26, 2017, in just his second major league game, he stepped up to the plate against Seattle Mariners pitcher Andrew Moore. The moment was, honestly, electric. With a powerful, fluid swing, Devers connected with the pitch and sent it soaring over the outfield wall. It was not just his first major league hit, it was a home run. As he rounded the bases, the crowd erupted. It was a storybook beginning. A perfect introduction to the Boston faithful. At 20 years and 275 days old, he became the youngest Red Sox player to hit a home run since another Boston legend, Tony Conigliaro, did it in 1965. The feat immediately etched his name into the franchise's rich history. That first home run was just the beginning of a remarkable rookie campaign. Devers quickly proved that he belonged in the big leagues. His bat was a weapon, and he seemed to have a flair for the dramatic. He played with a confidence that frankly defied his age, never looking overwhelmed by the pressure. In 58 games during that 2017 regular season, he posted a strong .284 batting average, launching 10 home runs and driving in 30 runs. He had solidified the third base position and provided the offensive jolt the team desperately needed. He was no longer just a prospect, he was a key contributor. One of his most iconic moments came on a tense Sunday night in August at Yankee Stadium, the ultimate stage for a Red Sox player. Boston was trailing the rival New York Yankees in the top of the ninth inning, facing their flame-throwing closer, Aroldis Chapman. Chapman unleashed a blistering fastball clocked at an incredible 102.8 miles per hour. Most hitters would be lucky to even make contact. Devers did more than that. He turned on the pitch and blasted it into the stands for a game-tying home run. It was a stunning display of power and poise, the fastest pitch hit for a home run since tracking began in 2008. The moment instantly became legendary. While his bat got the headlines, he also showcased his defensive skills. On August 15th, he started a rare triple play against the St. Louis Cardinals, displaying quick reflexes and a strong arm at the hot corner. Although he struggled with errors at times, his spectacular plays showed his immense potential. By the end of the regular season, there was no doubt about his impact. He had arrived in the middle of the season and completely changed the dynamic of the team, helping them secure the American League East Division title. The rookie had passed every test, and now he was headed to the postseason. The bright lights of the postseason can be intimidating for even the most experienced veterans. For a 20-year-old rookie, the pressure is astronomical. Rafael Devers, however, seemed to thrive on it. The 2017 Red Sox faced a formidable opponent in the American League Division Series, the Houston Astros, a team that would go on to win the World Series. Boston struggled early in the series, but in Game 3, Devers delivered a moment of hope. He launched a 2-run home run that gave the Red Sox their very first lead of the entire series. The blast made him the youngest Red Sox player to ever hit a home run in the postseason, another historic milestone in his young career. His heroics did not stop there. Devers joined an exclusive club with that postseason home run, becoming only the 6th player in MLB history to go deep in the playoffs before turning 21. He was in the company of baseball legends like Mickey Mantle and future Hall of Famers like Miguel Cabrera. It was a clear sign that he was a special kind of player, one who was not afraid of the biggest moments. Even as his team faced elimination, Devers continued to battle, showcasing a maturity and fight that inspired his teammates and the entire fan base. He was a beacon of light in a tough series against a powerhouse opponent. In Game 4, with the Red Sox fighting to keep their season alive, Devers produced one of the most exciting plays in baseball. He hit a line drive that found a gap, and just kept running. Displaying surprising speed and aggressive base running, he circled the bases for an inside-the-park home run. The Fenway Park crowd went into a frenzy. It was a play fueled by pure hustle and determination. In doing so, he became the youngest player in the history of Major League Baseball to hit an inside-the-park home run in a postseason game. It was yet another record-breaking moment, a testament to his unique ability to create excitement whenever he was on the field. Although the Red Sox ultimately lost the series to the Astros, Devers' performance was a massive silver lining. In his first taste of October baseball, he was one of the team's best players, batting .364 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. He had proven that the big stage was not too bright for him. He had faced a championship-caliber team and had not backed down an inch. The season may have ended in disappointment for Boston, but the emergence of Rafael Devers gave them immense hope for the future. They had found their third baseman, a clutch performer who was just getting started on what promised to be an incredible career. Coming off his impressive rookie season, expectations for Rafael Devers were high heading into 2018. He was firmly entrenched as the team's starting third baseman, a key piece of a roster loaded with talent and championship aspirations. The season was a bit of an up-and-down journey for him personally. He showed flashes of his incredible power, hitting his first career grand slam in April and another against the rival Yankees in June. That night in New York, he had a career-best 5-hit game, becoming the youngest player ever to hit a grand slam in the historic Red Sox-Yankees rivalry. The moments of brilliance were there, but he also battled inconsistency and injuries for the first time. He spent 2 separate stints on the disabled list during the summer with shoulder and hamstring issues, limiting him to 121 games. His regular season batting average dipped to .240, and he struggled with defensive consistency, leading the major leagues in errors at third base. It was a challenging sophomore season, filled with adversity and learning experiences. Despite the struggles, he still managed to hit 21 home runs and drive in 66 runs, showing that his power was a constant threat even when he wasn't at his best. The regular season was a grind, but it was all just a prelude to what mattered most. the postseason. When October arrived, a different Rafael Devers emerged. The struggles of the regular season seemed to melt away under the bright lights of the playoffs. He was locked in, ready to contribute to a deep postseason run. He became a force in the middle of the Red Sox lineup, delivering clutch hits and powerful home runs. He hit 3 homers during the playoffs, becoming just the 5th player in history to hit that many before his 22nd birthday. The biggest of them all came in the clinching Game 5 of the American League Championship Series against the defending champion Houston Astros. With his team trailing, Devers crushed a go-ahead 3-run home run that silenced the Houston crowd and ultimately sent the Red Sox to the World Series. In the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers, Devers continued to deliver in the clutch. In Game 4, with the score tied in the top of the 9th inning, he hit a single that drove in the go-ahead run, a pivotal moment that helped the Red Sox take a commanding series lead. He became the youngest player with a go-ahead RBI that late in a World Series game since 1997. The Red Sox would go on to win the series in 5 games, and Rafael Devers was a World Series champion. He had gone from a struggling sophomore to a postseason hero, playing a crucial role in bringing a title back to Boston. At just 22 years old, he had already reached the pinnacle of the sport. After the thrill of winning a World Series in 2018, Rafael Devers entered the 2019 season with a new level of confidence. He was no longer just a talented young player, he was a champion. This season would prove to be his true breakout, the year he transformed from a promising hitter into one of the most feared offensive forces in all of baseball. He resumed his role as Boston's everyday third baseman and set out to prove that his postseason heroics were no fluke. From the very beginning of the season, it was clear that a different, more mature version of Devers had arrived. He was more disciplined at the plate, yet more aggressive on pitches he could drive, which, honestly, is a lethal combination for opposing pitchers. His dominance became undeniable during the month of May. Devers went on an incredible tear, hitting with both power and consistency. He batted .351 for the month, smashing 8 home runs and driving in clutch runs seemingly every night. His performance was so outstanding that he was named the American League Player of the Month. This was his first major individual award, a recognition that he had ascended to the elite tier of players in the league. The award confirmed what Red Sox fans already knew. Devers was not just a part of the offense, he was becoming its engine. He carried the team for long stretches, his bat a constant source of energy and production. The accolades continued to pour in. In mid-July, Devers was honored with the Red Sox Heart and Hustle Award. This award is given to a player who demonstrates a passion for the game and best embodies the values, spirit, and traditions of baseball. It was a fitting tribute to a player known for his infectious smile and fierce determination. He played the game with a visible joy, but also with an intensity that inspired his teammates. He ran the bases hard, celebrated his teammates' successes with genuine enthusiasm, and fought hard in every at-bat. He was the beating heart of the team, a leader by example, despite being one of the youngest players on the roster. This breakout season was about more than just statistics. It was about establishing a new standard of excellence. Devers was putting the league on notice. He was a complete hitter, capable of changing the game with one swing, but also capable of stringing together professional at-bats to wear down a pitcher. His defense, while still a work in progress, was overshadowed by his monumental offensive contributions. He had fully arrived, shedding the label of a young player with potential and embracing the role of a superstar. The 2019 season was the foundation upon which he would build his lasting legacy in Boston, a year of historic and unforgettable performance. As the 2019 season progressed, Rafael Devers' performance reached historic levels. On August 13th, during a game against the Cleveland Indians, he put on a hitting display for the ages. He stepped to the plate 6 times and recorded a hit every single time, finishing the night a perfect 6 for 6. It was a masterful exhibition of hitting, and honestly that's a feat that few players ever achieve in their entire careers. But Devers did not just collect singles, he punished the baseball. 4 of his 6 hits were doubles, showcasing his incredible gap-to-gap power. This remarkable achievement made him the only player since the turn of the 20th century to record 6 or more hits in a game, with at least 4 of them being doubles. Just a few days later, on August 18th, Devers reached another significant milestone. He drove in a run that marked his 100th RBI of the season. Impressively, he was the very first player in all of Major League Baseball to reach that mark in 2019. It was a testament to his incredible consistency and his ability to deliver with runners on base. For his incredible week of hitting, he was deservedly named the American League Player of the Week. He was in a zone unlike any other, and the entire baseball world was watching. He had become the undisputed leader of the Red Sox offense, the player that the team relied on to carry the load and produce runs in bunches. His record-setting ways continued through September. On September 21st, he launched his 31st home run of the season. This was not just another homer, it was a historic one. The blast set a new Red Sox franchise record for the most home runs in a single season by a third baseman, surpassing the previous mark set by Butch Hobson back in 1977. In a franchise with a rich and storied history, Devers was carving out his own chapter. On the final day of the season, he capped off his magnificent year by recording his 200th hit, a benchmark for elite hitters. He had become a true hitting machine, a constant threat from the left side of the plate. When the dust settled on the 2019 season, his final numbers were simply breathtaking. He finished with a .311 batting average, 201 hits, an American League leading 54 doubles, 32 home runs, and 115 RBIs. He also led all of Major League Baseball with 90 extra base hits and 359 total bases. It was one of the greatest offensive seasons in Red Sox history. While his defense remained a challenge as he led all third basemen in errors, his offensive output was so immense that it hardly mattered. He finished 12th in the American League MVP voting, solidifying his status as one of the game's premier players and the undeniable face of Boston's powerful offense. Following his monumental 2019 season, Rafael Devers had established himself as an offensive titan. Even during the shortened and unusual 60-game season in 2020, he remained a productive force, hitting 11 home runs and driving in 43 runs. However, it was in 2021 that he fully cemented his status as a perennial all-star. Returning to a full 162-game schedule, Devers was once again the anchor of the Red Sox lineup. He started the season strong and never looked back, consistently delivering clutch hits and tape-measure home runs. His performance was so dominant that he was rightfully recognized as one of the best players in the game. In July, that recognition became official. For the first time in his career, Rafael Devers was named a starter for the American League in the MLB All-Star Game. It was a well-deserved honor, voted on by the fans who had come to admire his talent and passion. Standing on the field alongside the biggest stars in baseball was a testament to his hard work and his journey from a top prospect to a bona fide superstar. This was not just a personal milestone, it was a moment of pride for the Red Sox organization and the fans who had watched him grow. He had reached the pinnacle of individual recognition in the sport. His power numbers continued to climb throughout the 2021 season. On September 4th, he hit his 33rd home run of the year, a significant blast that also brought his RBI total to 100 for the second time in his career. Reaching the 100 RBI plateau once is a great achievement. Doing it multiple times is the mark of an elite run producer. Devers proved that his 2019 season was not an outlier but the new standard for his performance. He finished the year with a staggering 38 home runs and 113 RBIs, leading the team back to the postseason and re-establishing them as a competitive force in the American League. The season culminated in more hardware for his trophy case. In November, Devers was awarded his first career Silver Slugger award, officially recognizing him as the best offensive third baseman in the American League. He also finished 11th in the AL MVP voting and was named the second-team third baseman on the prestigious All-MLB team. While his defensive struggles continued, as he once again led the league in errors, his bat was simply too valuable to ignore. He was an offensive juggernaut, a player who could single-handedly win games, and now, he was officially an all-star and a Silver Slugger. By 2022, Rafael Devers was the unquestioned leader in the Red Sox clubhouse and the most important bat in their lineup. His consistency was remarkable, and he kept producing at an elite level. His performance was recognized by fans all across the country who voted him in as the starting third baseman for the American League All-Star Game for the second consecutive year. This back-to-back selection solidified his place among baseball's royalty. He was no longer just a one-time All-Star, he was a fixture at the Midsummer Classic. The 2023 season saw Devers continue to build his legacy as one of Boston's great power hitters. He played in 153 games and put up monster numbers, hitting 33 home runs and driving in exactly 100 runs. This marked the third time in his career that he had reached the 30-homer, 100 RBI milestone. His ability to consistently produce at such a high level was the reason for his massive contract extension. At the end of the season, he was rewarded with his second Silver Slugger award. The 2024 season featured another historic moment for Devers. In May, he went on an unbelievable power surge. He homered in one game, then the next, and then the next. The streak captivated the baseball world as he kept hitting balls out of the park night after night. When he hit a home run in his sixth consecutive game on May 20th, he made franchise history. No player in Red Sox history, not Ted Williams, not Jimmy Fox, not David Ortiz, had ever accomplished that feat. It was a record that belonged solely to Rafael Devers. Later that season, on July 6th, he achieved another milestone, recording his 1,000th major league hit. His offensive legacy was undeniable. He was a record-breaking bat, a consistent all-star, and a multiple Silver Slugger winner. Rafael Devers had built a legacy in Boston defined by towering home runs and clutch RBIs. He was, without a doubt, a true offensive superstar. Entering the 2023 season, the future of Rafael Devers in Boston was, honestly, the single biggest topic of conversation among the Red Sox faithful. With several other homegrown stars having departed in recent years, the fan base was, understandably, anxious about retaining their beloved third baseman. The initial step to secure him came on January 3, 2023, when Devers and the team agreed to a one-year, $17.5 million contract, successfully avoiding salary arbitration for the upcoming season. While this provided some temporary relief, it was really just the appetizer for the main course that everyone was desperately awaiting. It was a necessary formality, a bridge to a much larger and more significant commitment that would define the next decade of Red Sox baseball, and honestly, solidify Devers' place in the city. Just over a week later, on January 11th, the news that Red Sox Nation had been praying for finally broke. The Boston Red Sox and Rafael Devers agreed to a massive, long-term contract extension. The deal was for 11 years and worth a staggering $331 million, with $313.5 million of that taking effect in the 2024 season. This was not just a contract, it was a monumental statement from the organization. They were officially committing to Devers as the face of the franchise, the cornerstone around whom they would build their future. For a fan base that had felt the sting of losing other key players, this was a moment of pure jubilation and a promise that their superstar slugger was staying home for the long haul. The contract was a landmark deal, one of the largest in baseball history, and it represented a pretty profound shift in organizational philosophy for the Red Sox. It signaled their belief that Devers was a generational talent whose value extended far beyond his impressive statistics. He was the heart and soul of the team, a leader in the clubhouse, and a player beloved by the city for his joyful yet fierce approach to the game. The investment was a testament to everything he had accomplished since his debut, from his postseason heroics as a rookie to his multiple All-Star selections and Silver Slugger awards. The Red Sox were betting hundreds of millions of dollars that his bat would continue to be one of the most productive in the sport for another decade. For Devers, the contract provided incredible financial security, but more importantly, it was the ultimate validation of his journey. The young boy from the Dominican Republic who signed for $1.5 million had become one of the highest-paid players in the game. He had earned it through relentless work and consistent elite performance. The deal came with immense pressure, as he was now officially the man expected to lead Boston back to championship glory. However, if his career had proven anything, it was that Devers thrived under pressure. He embraced his role as the cornerstone, ready to carry the weight of the franchise on his powerful shoulders and deliver on the massive promise the team had made to him. The ink on Rafael Devers' massive contract extension was barely dry when a new and unexpected challenge arose in February 2025. The Red Sox made a surprising move in free agency, signing star third baseman Alex Bregman to a lucrative 3-year, $120 million contract. The move sent shockwaves through the baseball world and created an immediate and honestly awkward dilemma. Bregman was a Gold Glove caliber third baseman, a position that Devers had occupied for his entire career in Boston. The signing immediately raised questions about Devers' future at the hot corner, a position he had always considered his own, despite his well-documented defensive struggles over the years. Initially, Devers reacted with firm resistance to the idea of moving. He publicly stated that he would not accept a position change to accommodate the team's new acquisition. This was a rare moment of public friction between the beloved star and the organization. For years, Devers had been the undisputed king of third base in Boston, and the signing of Bregman felt like a direct challenge to his role. His defensive shortcomings had always been a talking point, but his bat had more than compensated for them. Now it seemed the front office was prioritizing defensive stability at the position, forcing a difficult conversation with their cornerstone player and setting up a potential clubhouse conflict before the season even began. After a period of tension and discussion, Devers eventually relented. He agreed to move from third base to the full-time designated hitter role. It was a significant concession from a player who took great pride in being an everyday position player. The move was framed as a way to keep his powerful bat in the lineup every day while minimizing the physical toll of playing defense, theoretically preserving his long-term health and offensive output. While logical on paper, the transition was not seamless. It represented a fundamental change in his identity as a player and removed him from the infield chatter and rhythm of the game he had known his whole life, a difficult adjustment for any competitor. The challenges continued to mount as the 2025 season began. With first baseman Tristan Casas suffering a season-ending injury in May, the team approached Devers with another request, to step in and play first base. Despite the team's desperate need, Devers declined the request. This decision further highlighted the growing rift and his discomfort with being moved around the diamond. He had made one major sacrifice by moving to DH. He was unwilling to make another. The situation underscored the complexities of managing superstar talent and the personal pride that is tied to a player's defensive position. The cornerstone of the franchise was now in a state of flux, his role on the field changing in ways no one had anticipated. The start of the 2025 season was, honestly, a nightmare for Rafael Devers. The transition to a full-time designated hitter seemed to negatively impact his timing and rhythm at the plate. He began the year in a historic slump, going hitless in his first 21 at-bats while striking out an alarming 15 times. This stretch of futility was the worst start to a season for any player in their first 5 games in Major League Baseball history. The player who had been a model of offensive consistency was suddenly lost at the plate. The pressure of his new contract, the position change, and the team's expectations seemed to be weighing heavily on him, creating a perfect storm of struggle and frustration for the Red Sox star. Just as things looked their bleakest, the true talent of Rafael Devers began to shine through. In early May, he broke out of his slump in a spectacular fashion. During the week of May 5th through 11th, he found his groove and started hitting like his old self again, going 10 for 21 with 2 home runs and 8 runs batted in. His incredible turnaround earned him the American League Player of the Week award, a powerful reminder of how quickly he could heat up and dominate the league. A few days later, on May 17th, he delivered a signature Corrida moment, launching his first career walk-off home run to defeat the Atlanta Braves, sending Fenway Park into a frenzy and for a moment seemingly righting the ship on his season. Despite these flashes of brilliance, the underlying tension between Devers and the Red Sox organization persisted. The disagreements over his defensive position had created a palpable strain, and whispers of a fractured relationship began to circulate. The situation had become increasingly complicated. The Red Sox had a massive financial commitment to Devers, but also had a new expensive third baseman in Alex Bregman. The on-field fit had become awkward, and the off-field chemistry appeared to be deteriorating. It became clear that something had to give. The dream scenario of Devers retiring as a Red Sox legend, envisioned when he signed his extension, was quickly starting to unravel. The end of his time in Boston came swiftly and shockingly. On June 15, 2025, just a year and a half after signing his historic extension, the unthinkable happened. Rafael Devers was traded. His final hit as a member of the Red Sox was fittingly a home run against the rival New York Yankees. The team sent him to the San Francisco Giants in a blockbuster deal for a package of top prospects and young players, including Kyle Harrison and Jordan Hicks. The trade sent shockwaves across baseball, marking the stunning end of an era in Boston. The cornerstone of the franchise was gone, leaving behind a legacy of incredible highs and a fan base left to wonder what went wrong. The trade that sent Rafael Devers from Boston to San Francisco on June 15, 2025, was one of those rare moments that brings the baseball world to a standstill. It was a true blockbuster, a seismic shift that reverberated from coast to coast. For the San Francisco Giants, acquiring Devers was a monumental move. The franchise had been searching for a true middle-of-the-order slugger, a superstar talent to build around and excite a passionate fan base. In Devers, they found their man. The trade was a clear declaration of intent from the Giants' front office. They were all in on winning, and they were willing to pay the steep price of top prospects like Kyle Harrison and Jordan Hicks to get a player of Devers' caliber. The city of San Francisco, with its rich history of baseball icons, was ready to welcome a new giant. For Devers, the trade marked the abrupt and emotional end of his time with the only organization he had ever known. He was leaving behind the city where he had grown from a teenage prospect into a World Series champion and a franchise cornerstone. The move to San Francisco represented a complete reset, a new chapter in a new league, a new city, and a new uniform. It was an opportunity to escape the recent tensions in Boston and find a fresh start. The Giants were not just acquiring his bat, they were inheriting his massive contract and the immense expectations that came with it. They were betting that a change of scenery would reignite the joyful, dominant corrida that the baseball world had come to love. The reaction from the fans was immediate and intense. In Boston, there was a mixture of shock, anger, and sadness. The fan base felt betrayed, having been promised that Devers would be a Red Sox for life just a short time before. In San Francisco, the feeling was one of pure ecstasy. The Giants had landed the kind of elite game-changing hitter they had coveted for years. Hopes for a new era of championship contention were instantly ignited. Devers was seen as the missing piece, the offensive force who could elevate the team to the next level and fill the seats at Oracle Park. The pressure on him to perform would be immediate, but it was a challenge he was ready to embrace. The trade package the Red Sox received in return was significant, featuring a mix of promising young talent. Pitchers Kyle Harrison and Jordan Hicks, along with prospects James Tibbs III and Jose Bello, represented a major haul for Boston's future. However, for the Giants, the present was what mattered most. They had traded away a significant portion of their future for a chance to win now with a proven superstar. The blockbuster deal redefined both franchises, setting them on divergent paths. For Rafael Devers, the journey west was more than just a change of address. It was the beginning of a new identity as a San Francisco Giant, with a new legacy to build by the Bay. When Rafael Devers arrived in San Francisco, he was greeted with the fanfare typically reserved for a conquering hero. The Giants organization rolled out the red carpet, introducing him to the media and the fans in a major press conference. Donning the iconic cream and orange Giants jersey for the first time, he looked out at a sea of new faces, a new city ready to embrace him as their own. His first impressions were crucial. He spoke of his excitement for the new challenge and his desire to help bring a championship back to the Bay Area. Despite the whirlwind nature of the trade, he projected a sense of calm and readiness, his trademark smile signaling a new, more hopeful chapter in his career. His debut at Oracle Park was an event in itself. The stadium was buzzing with an energy that had been missing, as thousands of fans came to witness the start of the Devers era. Every time he stepped into the batter's box, the crowd rose to its feet in anticipation. They were eager to see the raw power and sweet swing that had made him a star in Boston. While the immediate results were mixed as he adjusted to a new league and new pitchers, the promise of what was to come was palpable. He was now the centerpiece of the Giants lineup, the anchor that the entire offense would revolve around, a role he was born to play. The move to San Francisco also meant a return to his natural position at third base. With the Giants, there was no controversy or positional limbo. He was their everyday third baseman, plain and simple. This return to the hot corner seemed to rejuvenate him, putting him back in the flow of the game where he felt most comfortable. While his defensive metrics had always been a topic of debate, the Giants were more than willing to accept the occasional error in exchange for his monumental offensive contributions. They were committed to putting him in the best position to succeed, both physically and mentally, hoping to unlock the full scope of his immense talent. As the 2025 season continued, Devers began to settle into his new surroundings. The initial shock of the trade gave way to the familiar rhythm of the baseball season. He was building chemistry with new teammates, learning a new coaching staff, and exploring a new city. This period was not just about his performance on the field, it was about setting the stage for his long-term future with the Giants. The team had invested heavily in him, not just for one season, but for the better part of the next decade. His journey as a San Francisco Giant was just beginning, with the promise of new memories, new milestones, and hopefully, new championships on the horizon. Rafael Devers' journey through the world of baseball is far more than a collection of statistics, records, and contracts. It is a powerful narrative of passion, resilience, and an unwavering love for the game. From the sun-drenched fields of the Dominican Republic to the historic grounds of Fenway Park and the picturesque setting of Oracle Park, his path has been defined by a rare combination of elite talent and infectious joy. He became a World Series champion in Boston, a franchise cornerstone whose bat created countless unforgettable memories for a devoted fan base. The stunning trade to San Francisco marked a dramatic turn in his story, but it did not alter the fundamental essence of who he is, a generational hitter who plays with the heart of a child. His legacy is not tied to one uniform, but to the electrifying energy he brings to every ballpark he steps into. His impact transcends the box score. Devers inspires fans around the world because he represents the pure, unadulterated fun of baseball. In an era often dominated by intense analytics and high-stakes pressure, his famous smile, the very reason for his nickname Carita, serves as a constant reminder that this is, at its core, a game. He plays with a freedom and exuberance that is both captivating and relatable, connecting with spectators on a human level. Young players look up to him not just for his tape measure home runs, but for the visible delight he takes in playing. He demonstrates that it is possible to be a fierce competitor and a joyful warrior simultaneously, a balance that many strive for but few ever truly achieve in professional sports. The challenges he has faced, from sophomore slumps and defensive criticisms to the difficult transition away from Boston, have only added depth to his story. He has navigated adversity with a quiet determination, always letting his bat do the talking in the end. This resilience makes his success all the more inspiring. It shows that the path to greatness is rarely a straight line and is often filled with obstacles that test one's character. Devers has met these challenges head-on, emerging each time with his spirit intact and his focus sharpened. His ability to overcome hurdles and continue performing at an MVP caliber level makes him a role model for perseverance and mental fortitude, proving that true strength lies in the ability to keep smiling through the storm. As his career continues to unfold with the San Francisco Giants, Rafael Devers is building a legacy that will endure long after he hangs up his cleats. He is the baby-faced slugger who could change a game with a single swing and lift the spirits of an entire stadium with a single grin. His story is a testament to the power of talent fueled by passion, a journey that has already secured his place as one of the most exciting and beloved players of his generation. Whether in Boston Red or San Francisco Orange, he remains Carita, the smiling face of baseball's bright future and a constant source of inspiration for anyone who believes in the magic of the game and the dreams it can fulfill.